Alright guys, how's everyone doing? You guys good? So I know Shenton, some of you guys don't know me, my name's Drane. Alright, I'm a goalie coach, that's what I do for a living. I'm student assistant director for the Good School Goalie School, but I'm here today to talk to you guys about nutrition, something that I'm very passionate about. I went to school at Western Illinois and got my degree in finance, but I got a minor in nutrition, and it's something that I've stuck with ever since I've left college. I've always been obsessed with optimizing my body and creating a good physique and making sure that I can keep up with you guys, because you guys are a lot younger than I am. So in order to be on the ice 5-6 hours a day, you got to have good nutrition, right? If you don't have good nutrition, you're gonna be in a world of trouble. Okay, so that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. First things first is that I want to talk to you guys about is there's different types of body types. Okay, so depending on what your body type is, I'm going to have completely different recommendations for you. Okay, so there's three types of body types. There's ectomorphic people, which is what I was when I was in high school. I was 135 pounds my senior year. I could eat whatever I wanted. I wouldn't gain weight. I had small bones, small joints. All right, it's very, very hard for me to gain weight. All right, that's what an ectomorph is. They're always lean. They can eat whatever they want. Those type of guys are going to require a lot more calories than these other physiques I'm talking about. So then the other type is a mesomorph, which is the guy who basically is the high school football player. He's lean, but he's got tons of muscle, big joints, big bones. Very easy for him to put on muscle. Doesn't even have to eat a whole lot of food. All right, just basically has that ideal male body. And then you have the endomorphs, which are guys that get fat really easy. All right, there's high body fat, denser bones. They just, for whatever reason, their body puts on fat really easy. And for those types of people, their nutrition is going to be totally different than the ectomorph and the mesomorph. So the first thing when you're doing your own nutrition or working with a nutritionist or evaluating yourself is you need to know which category you fall in. Because again, it's going to change tremendously what you're doing with your nutrition. For example, and this, I'm just making this up, say Shenton is an ectomorph, okay? Say, what's your name?
Butler.
Butler is a mesomorph, okay? So we'll go into the macronutrients. You got protein, carbohydrates, and fat. All right, you two are going to eat the same amount of protein, right? Because protein is not, we can't store protein. So, all right, you guys both are going to be needing a gram per pound of body weight. All right, so if Shenton's 150 and you're 200, you're going to need 200 grams. He's going to need 150. All right, that's just to maintain. If you're trying to build muscle, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need about 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. Okay, but what's going to vary tremendously difference is going to be carbohydrates. Okay, your fats are both going to be the same. You guys are going to want to have some healthy fats in your diet. Fats are very important for your hormones. You guys are aware you have hormones, testosterone, thyroid hormone, estrogen. So you need some fats in your diet. So the fats will cover that. But the carbohydrates are going to be tremendously different, okay? Because Shenton's an ectomorph, his body burns through carbohydrates, all right? So you give him 50, he burns 50, all right? Because you're a mesomorph, all right, or even if you're an endomorph, your body does not use carbs very efficiently. It stores them as fat. That's why you get fat, So for Shenton, he's going to be eating, per pound of body weight, probably 3 times what his body weight is. So he's going to be eating, 3 times 150. He's going to be eating 450 grams of carbs a day. All right, that's a lot of carbs. All right, whereas for you, I would say you would be at about 0.75 per pound of body weight if you're an endomorph. And if you're a mesomorph, you're probably going to be at 2 grams per pound of body weight. Okay, so again, it varies dramatically in the carbohydrate intake. And what are carbohydrates, guys? They're your fuel source. Okay, so when Shenton, say he's a Porsche, all right, you're a Corvette, okay, all right, he's got three gallons of gas in there, you got 19 gallons of gas. If his car's faster, who's going to win that race? You, because he's going to run out of gas at some point, all right, and that's what your nutrition is, guys. It's your fuel, all right. So, like I said, you got to be getting your protein in because that's going to help you build muscle. It's also good, going to help rebuild your skin, your hair, your nails, your organs. So you got to have the protein, all right? And one thing that people don't understand about protein is you either use it or you lose it, meaning there's no storage mechanism. So say, this guy right here tells me he just ate 100 grams his last meal. Doesn't matter in 3 hours, okay, he's gonna need more protein. There's no, your body can't store it, all right? So with protein, all right, you need to be every 3 to 4 hours, you need to be consuming some protein if you're looking to build any type of muscle, all right? Carbohydrates, your body can store, which is obvious. That's why people get fat, okay? Because, you know, they sit on the couch and they consume tons of carbohydrates and they don't burn them. So when I talk about nutrition, what I want you guys to do when you think about nutrition, if you don't get anything out of this, is think of your day in 3 to 4 hour windows, okay? So if I'm Johnny and I wake up at 8 in the morning, what am I gonna be doing until noon? I'm gonna be sitting in school, right? Sitting on my butt, doing no physical activity, right? So I need some carbohydrates because my brain runs on carbohydrates. All right, it can run on fat and carbohydrates, but it prefers to run on carbohydrates. And if you don't believe me, go a day without trying to eat carbohydrates and you will feel like crap. All right, you'll have a headache, all right, you feel sluggish, almost like you have the flu. All right, so the brain needs the glucose. So from 8 to noon, I'm not doing a whole lot, okay? So I only want to maybe be consuming about 15 grams of carbs, okay, 15 to 30 depending on if I'm a ectomorph or an endomorph per hour, okay? So my breakfast, if I'm Johnny, all right, is only gonna be 60 grams of carbs to get me to noon, okay? So now I get in the noon window to 4 o'clock. Okay, what am I doing in that window? School, but maybe your exercise starts with Freddie at 3:30. So that's where we gotta have a big lunch, okay? We gotta be eating a little bit more at lunch, okay? Protein is still gonna be the same for every meal, you know, in that 30 to 50 gram range, depending if you're trying to build muscle or just maintain what you have. But that's where the carbs are gonna start to go up is, okay, in the next 4 hours, I know I'm gonna be training with Freddie, so I'm gonna be burning just in that hour, maybe an additional 50 grams of carbs. So I'm gonna take my 15 to 30 grams, but now I'm gonna add in an additional 50 because I need to bridge that gap for my workout. Otherwise, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get to 4 o'clock when my workout starts with Freddie, and if I'm an ectomorph, my body's already burned through all those carbs. I have nothing, okay? I have nothing. So what my body is now doing, it has 2 fuel sources that it can attack. It can attack your fat cells, which if you're an ectomorph, you don't have a lot of fat on your body, or your muscle. So it will start catabolizing muscle and eating muscle tissue, and you don't want that, okay? It's very hard to gain muscle, so you don't want your body eating the muscle that you have. So those carbohydrates got to be in there to fuel this 4 p.m. workout. So now I'm going 4 to 8. What am I doing? Okay. Well, my metabolism is still ramped out from my workout with Freddie. So whether you guys realize it or not, your hour workout, a couple hours after that, all right, it's not easy for you guys to fall asleep, right? You're not tired after hockey practice, right? Because your metabolism is still ramped up, so you're still burning calories after that practice. So in this window, this is when I'm gonna start, you know, having a large meal, all right? My dinner is gonna be large, substantial, you know, probably 100 grams of carbs, 15 to 20 grams of fat, and again, that 30 to 50 grams of protein, depending on your body type. Okay, well now, at 8, I know I have practice at 8 o'clock. So now from 8 to 12 is my next window. All right, a lot of people will tell you guys, don't eat at nighttime. Okay, I disagree with that. Shen just went out, he had an hour and a half practice. He burned 800 calories, so think of a ditch. That's how deep he dug his ditch. Now, he's gonna go home, and he's gonna put nothing in that ditch. So what's gonna happen the next morning?
Still gonna be there.
It's an empty ditch. He's gonna feel like crap in the morning because he didn't fuel his gas tank back up, okay? He didn't put any gas back in. So what we wanna do is, we don't wanna just put, say he's got, you know, a 900 calorie deficit here. We don't want to just put in 900 calories, okay? We actually want to put in more because while Shen's sleeping, his body's going to be burning, all right, anywhere between 60 and 100 calories per hour that you're sleeping, okay? So we have to take care of that too, okay? So that way when we're sleeping, all right, we're giving our body the raw materials it needs to repair and grow, okay? Your body does not grow when you work out, okay? Your body doesn't grow when you're awake during the day. It grows at night when you're sleeping. So it's got to have those raw materials. Now, to the contrary, if I'm not doing anything physical active in that 8 to 12 window, do I want to be eating carbs, guys? No, use common sense, man. You don't need that energy, right? You don't need that glucose, so there's no reason to consume those in that window. All right, so this is what we call having a nutrient timing strategy, okay? And that's kind of, you guys do the off ice with Freddie and he provides drinks to you guys. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some of you, he has drinks. What that is it's a nutrient timing strategy that I talked to Freddie about, and it's a big reason why I have been able to gain as much muscle as I've been able to gain is because of that nutrient timing strategy. So what I mean by that is when you guys are exercising, what are you doing? What are you doing to your body?
Burning calories.
You're breaking down the muscle tissue, right? You're burning calories, you're breaking it down. All right, so that's what we call a catabolic activity, all right? Meaning it's not good for our body. It is good for our body, but it's strategically, we have to make it good for our body by making it an anabolic activity, which is a growth. Anabolic means growth, so it means growing. We want to grow new muscle. Nobody's training to make themselves the same, right? You guys want to get 5% better, 10% better, all right? You want to get 5% leaner or gain 5% muscle. So what Freddie's strategy is basically doing is, you see how Shenton's ditch was here? By doing the intra-workout, your ditch doesn't go as deep because what's happening is you're basically feeding yourself while you're training, all right? There's carbohydrates in there, which is, all right, maintaining your glucose levels in your muscles, all right? There's essential amino acids in there, which are proteins, so your body's getting protein while it's training, it's getting carbohydrates while it's training, and it's getting some other exotic things in there like glutamine, which glutamine helps your stomach absorb more of what you're taking in, which is a cool thing. So he's got some other exotic things in there to make it even better. So now when I'm done with this workout, this ditch isn't so deep, okay? So it's gonna prevent you guys from overtraining, okay? Which I don't really believe in overtraining when you guys are your age. It's just under eating. If you don't eat enough, all right, if this guy's out here and he's burning 3,000 calories a day and he eats 2,400 calories, how's he gonna feel? He's gonna feel like garbage. He's gonna be tired all the time. Central nervous system's gonna be down, all right? So it's really important, okay, that if you're burning 3,000, 3,200 calories a day, you're eating at least that or more to maintain. All right, now in these different windows too, I want to talk a little bit about when you should eat what, okay? So after your workout, okay, do you guys want to be eating a ton of fat after a workout? I told you need fat in your day, but after a workout, do you want to be eating a ton of fat? Why? Does anyone know why? Okay, fat slows down the absorption of the protein and the carbohydrates, okay? What I mean by that is if you eat a really high-fat meal, you guys won't be hungry for 10 to 12 hours after it, okay? Because it slows down your digestion process. So after a workout, we want to speed up the digestion process. We want things to go to the muscles that were worked as quickly as possible. And I always use the analogy of, you guys know like a plant, right? If a plant goes 3 to 4 days without being watered and you dump some water on it, what happens? Soaks it up immediately. If the plant has been watered constantly, the water will sit on the top until it needs it and then soak it up. So after a workout, your body is like a sponge, okay? It's like saying, feed me, give me some nutrition. I need to repair and rebuild these muscles so next time they're not broken down as much. All right, so it wants to absorb nutrients, but what we want to do is we want to get everything in there as fast as possible. So that's why Freddie created the intra-workout drink. It's kind of a hybrid of what I do. I add some other things in there, and I do a tremendous amount of carbs, a lot higher because I am an ectomorph and my body needs them. But so after that drink, though, you want to consume. I'm going to talk a little bit about supplements, a protein powder, because a protein powder can get in your system very fast. Okay, a whey isolate protein product, okay, can get in your system in 20 minutes. All right, so you're immediately within 20 minutes you're starting the repair process, which is good. All right, if I eat a chicken breast, it's going to take my body 5 to 6 hours to break that chicken breast down and get those aminos into the muscle. So I want to do a whey protein shake with sugars, okay? And it's the only time of the day I'm going to tell you guys to consume sugars. But after your workout, you want to consume sugars, absolutely. Fruit juice, sugary cereals, just after a workout. And again, it's dependent on if you're an ectomorph, meso, or endo. But if you fall in the meso and the ecto, you 100% want to have sugar post-workout. I like to do, personally for me, I like to do sorbet, which if you guys know, it's kind of like ice cream, but it doesn't have any milk product in it. I just prefer that because I can eat a lot of it and I can get the amount of carbs I need. I do that with my protein shake, and then 30 to 40 minutes later I'm starving because the protein shake absorbs so fast, and then I eat that meal. Freddie asked me about the sugar thing earlier. He said, do you want to be consuming a ton of sugar if you're not going to be eating a meal within an hour? And I said no, because if you're not going to be eating a meal, when you have all those carbohydrates, you're going to create an insulin spike, so your blood sugar is going to go really high, okay? And then it's going to drop. And when it drops, you're going to be super tired. But if you're getting that meal in, you time it, you get the blood sugar here, all right? You get it high, and then as it's dropping, you put another meal in, and that meal is a more stable meal, and you keep the blood sugar steady, okay? But if you're not going to do that meal, then you're better off doing the protein with a more complex carbohydrate source like oatmeal, rice cakes, granola, something like that, okay? But that post-workout window, again, you know, if I'm gonna talk to you guys like about even going and getting fast food, okay? Say you go to Chipotle and you get a burrito, okay? That's fine, but your post-workout burrito needs to be different than your burrito you eat the rest of the time, because you don't want to have the cheese in there because that's going to slow down the digestion. You don't want to have the sour cream in there because that's going to slow down the digestion. You don't want to have the guacamole in there because that's going to slow down the digestion. Now, if you want to have that in your other meals, that's fine, but you need to be strategic in your post-workout window. You want to try to get that food in there as quick as possible, right? So it's very important that, you know, you treat each given situation a little bit differently. You know, like now in the morning time, do I want to be having simple sugars? No. I don't want to be having simple sugars. I want to be having my eggs. I want to be having my oatmeal or my potatoes. I want to have a little bit of fruit. For you guys in general, I think you should try to consume either fruit or vegetables with every meal. And the only reason I'm saying that is because whether you realize it or not, it enhances the digestion of the foods. Okay, and it's not you. They always say you are what you eat. No, you are what you digest. So if you eat the food and you don't digest it, and you have a stomach ache, or you're bloated, or you have gastrointestinal problems, you're not absorbing that food. So what I like to do is I like to add in a fruit or a veggie with every meal. And another great thing that will, if you can do it, is take a 10-minute walk after you eat a meal. Okay, because by walking around that meal will digest better. If you don't believe me, try it. All right, your meal will digest much better if you get up, take a 10-minute walk right after you eat. All right, instead of just sitting down. All right, because when you're sitting down, you're not getting that food circulating and moving through your system. Okay, so all right, try it, 10-minute walk, try it to have veggie or fruit with every meal. I'm not saying get carried away. You know, if you eat breakfast and you got some pineapple in the fridge, grab 4 pieces of pineapple. You know, if you got an apple in the fridge, cut up half an apple and eat half that apple with your breakfast. All right, if you don't really like veggies, I'm not crazy about them. I throw spinach in my eggs. I wilt the spinach down. You don't even taste it. I can't even taste it in my eggs. I like eggs, so I throw it in there. All right, or if you don't like it, another thing you can do is if you're an ectomorph and you're trying to gain weight, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but told the other group, for me, I was always obsessed. I was tired of being the small, skinny kid. I always wanted to gain weight. I was a great goalie, but I was undersized, so I was very OCD about I want to be bigger, and I couldn't grow, so I'm like, I want to get more muscle, you know? So I created these shakes, and you know, I'm going to kind of give you guys like the gist of it that helped me gain a tremendous amount of weight. So what I would do is every morning I'd wake up, and I would do it morning and night, is I would do 16 ounces of milk, 2 scoops of protein powder. It could be vegetarian based or it could be whey. You know, some people have allergies to certain things. I would do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, which you can substitute the peanut butter if you have an allergy for olive oil. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Again, you won't even taste it in there. I would throw a banana in there, and then I'd throw in a cup of oatmeal. And if you're an ectomorph and you burn through calories, you could throw in even more than a cup of oatmeal to get that requirement. And in that shake, you can throw things like spinach and stuff like that, just because you won't taste them. It's going to taste like a Reese's cup. It's not going to taste like the spinach, all right? You throw a little bit of spinach in there, you're not going to taste it, all right? So, I mean, again, that's something I would do. That's about 800 calories right there, guys. And there's other things you can add to it to make it higher than that, all right? You could add ice cream to it. If you're a true ectomorph and you do not put on weight, throw some ice cream in there. You know what I'm saying? And I would do that morning and nighttime. So just that's kind of on a tangent, but if you're somebody who's looking to put on some muscle, that's a good way to do it. You know, is you know, if you can't eat enough, or like me, I would wake up in the morning and I wasn't really that hungry, guys. for whatever reason, I just wasn't that hungry. So really easy to drink down a shake than it is, to chew all this food up. So that's a big thing right there.
No, yeah, 5 minutes.
Cool. All right. So any questions about anything right now, guys?
What should we eat before we gain?
Yeah. So the last group, they kind of asked me that too. And like ideally, if I was you guys, I would be sipping the drink that Freddie gives you guys during a game, because that's going to cover you on all ends and you're going to stay hydrated. But if you were to go to more of a food-based thing, I would say eating something like having a piece of fruit, like some sort of lower glycemic fruit, like I would say like an apple or a pear. Oranges make you really satiated, so an orange, satiated just means full. Having something like that, and then having some moderate release carbs like a Cliff Bar, or even some like oatmeal, a little bit of oatmeal with some fruit before you go to the rink is good. Another one I like, I have a little bit of a concoction that I have before working out, which would basically for you guys for your hockey is I do cream of rice, which is like real runny. It's almost like a pudding. And I do 50 grams of carbs of that. I throw some peanut butter in there, and that's what I eat, and it keeps me full for 2.5 hours. Because the cream of rice is a quick acting carb, but the peanut butter slows it down. The cool thing about fats is they slow down the absorption of other things. So if you want to change the glycemic index of something, just add fat to it. You know what I'm saying? Like chicken and rice, that digests super fast. But if you want to make it slow, cut up an avocado, put that avocado in there. Now that meal is going to digest way slower. So to answer your question, yeah, just like fruit and some sort of complex carb, that would be good. You can do Greek yogurt with like some peanut butter in there, and maybe a couple like rice cakes. Again, if you want to do a meal, like I said, like a chicken and rice, like that's going to digest really light. Fish and rice digest really light. What's another one that would digest pretty light? Eggs and a couple pieces of toast. Or you can even bring toast to the rink, like maybe 3 pieces. If you're an ectomorph, I'm going to tell you more carbs, but I'm just going to say generalized three pieces of toast with maybe some peanut butter slathered on there, or if you like butter, just do butter. But you want to do like good toast, like whole grain, like 12 grain type bread. That would be good. Protein bars can be good, but you got to look at the sugar content. You don't want a whole lot of sugar. A lot of those protein bars have like tons of sugar in them, like 30, 40 grams. And that's where you're going to get that crash mid-game. You know what I'm saying? But if you do like a drink like Freddie does for you guys, and you sip that during, like the NHL guys, they're sipping BioSteel, which BioSteel is basically amino acids. It's got a little bit of carbs in there, and it's got an electrolyte balance. That's what they're sipping in their water bottles. So that's going to keep you going through the rest of the game. Because if you're well hydrated, which I want to talk to you guys a little bit about water, make sure you guys are drinking enough water. You guys are athletes. You're not normal people, so at least a gallon a day. All right, you guys are literally, you don't believe me, weigh yourself before hockey practice, weigh yourself after. There'll be a significant difference in weight if you don't drink water. So you need to be drinking a gallon of water a day, and with that, you need to be consuming salt, sodium. Okay, sodium's going to help your body rehydrate and hold on to more of that water. And potassium. Potassium's key. You have to have an equal balance, a close balance of sodium to potassium, so make sure you're eating bananas, avocados, potatoes are real high in potassium, and make sure you're staying hydrated. There's some other, zinc, magnesium, those things are really important for hydration, but if you guys are doing like a 3-hour workout, you probably need those minerals in there too, but yeah, make sure you guys are staying hydrated, tons of water, and I'm saying sipping on it. One thing you guys don't realize is 5% dehydration can cause as much as a 30% decrease in performance. Just 5%. And once you feel thirsty, it's too late. All right, you are actually dehydrated by the time you actually feel thirsty. So you shouldn't feel thirsty at any point in the day, and you should be, checking your urine. If your urine is a brighter color, you're dehydrated. All right, and if you're not going to the bathroom regularly, if you're not urinating regularly, 3 to 4 times at least a day, not drinking enough water. You're not going to be performing the way that you could perform. All right. So, any other questions?
If you're eating enough, can you lift every day?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, what you got to realize is I would say you want to do like 3 days on, 1 day off, because you grow outside the gym. So you do need to break that muscle down. And I would say, yeah, you could probably train 6 days out of the week if you are eating enough. But I would say 99.9% of kids are not eating enough. Like, again, like you, say your basal metabolic rate, what you burn at rest and doing nothing, is 2,400 calories. You automatically have to add 800 calories to that for your hockey practice. You have to add, if you're doing off ice, another 5 to 6. You're already at 4,000 calories. And that's just to maintain status quo. You know what I'm saying? Now you're adding and lifting weights too. Now your body's burning even more calories. So, I mean, you got to really be on point, man. Like, you got to have a really on point nutrition plan. But you could definitely do it. I did it for years, but I mean, you guys see me, I always carry my lunch. I'm OCD about I got to eat at these times and you'd have these foods. So you could do it, but it's tough. You know. Anything else? You guys good?
Guys, if you have any other questions, you guys can email me. I can pass it on to Zach.
Yeah, or you guys, you can follow me on Instagram, and if you have a question, just shoot me a direct message, and I'll answer you guys on it. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it. One thing I want to say to you guys too, real quick, before you take off, is supplements. If you don't have your nutrition right, guys, supplements aren't going to do anything for you. All right, the supplements. Once your nutrition is perfect, they can add the 5 to 10%. But a lot of guys, when you buy these pre-workouts, and you don't need. If your nutrition's not on point, none of that stuff's going to do anything for you. None of that. You have to be on point with your nutrition. Then you can add in the other stuff. All right, so don't waste your money on supplements until you. If you can come to me and say, I eat 5 to 6 times a day, this is what I eat. Okay, then you can add in some things like creatine and that, but you don't need that if you're not eating right. It's not going to do anything. All right. Cool, but yeah, it's at Zach Drane. Just my name, ZACH Drane. If you guys have a question, I'll answer it. Within a quick 24, 36 hours, I'll get back to you on it. All right. Because obviously I'm passionate about helping you guys get better in your sport and become better athletes. So I think nutrition can definitely be a huge advantage if you guys are on point. So all right, cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Freddie.
All right.
See you guys. Shed, good seeing you.